Our Nick Montez having some audio issues with him right now, so we do want to fix that and then go back to him in just a short while.
Well, on a day where so many people were heading to worship services, regardless of your religion, it's hard to imagine that someplace like this would be a place that you would see violence.
Our Steve Shammers joins us live now from Oak Creek, from outside the temple, with more on what he is learning this morning. Steve, good morning.
Vince and Susan, good morning to both of you. I want to go back to something you keyed on just a second ago, Vince, when you called up that picture of who we believe is Wade Michael Page on your desktop computer there. If we could bring that back up, I want to show you the tattoo that authorities may have keyed on. I've actually done a bit of investigating of white supremacist, white pride, neo-Nazi hate groups, call them whatever you will. That tattoo on his left shoulder, it's a type of Celtic cross that's been appropriated by a lot of white pride groups as one of their symbols. And it's hard to see on the little monitor we have here in the live truck some of the other detailed tattoos, but that large, round, Celtic-looking cross is probably one of the key things that law enforcement saw and recognized that this individual had some affiliation with some type of a supremacist group, that cross being one of the symbols that some groups use. I wish I could get a better look at some of those other pictures. Maybe, Vince, you could email them to me, and I'll take a look at them out here in the live truck and break them down for you if I can get a good look at them. Also, since we're talking here, I'll tell you here, if you go to the Southern Poverty Law Center website, they will have a lot of information about the symbolism of the white supremacist movement, and you could also break that down back in the newsroom yourselves. But Wade Michael Page, 40 years old, was in the United States Army, and according to published reports we're seeing now, he was busted down from sergeant to specialist and then discharged, which indicates that something happened during his time in the service that was not up to the standards of the United States military, busted down a rank and then discharged. That is sometimes an alternative to being dishonorably discharged from the service. Other things we know, according to NBC News, Pete Williams, who obviously has better sources at the Justice Department in Washington, D.C. than we do here in Milwaukee, that Wade Michael Page was the leader of a white supremacist neo-Nazi rock group called End Apathy. I know we've actually found some links to music videos that are still on the internet from this band, End Apathy. So the picture of Wade Michael Page is coming together remarkably close to what we thought it was yesterday. A 40-ish-year-old white man with a large build, showing off a lot of tattoos. We have not seen the tattoos in any of the pictures yet that indicate 9/11, we'll never forget you, and we're talking about the Islamic terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon on September 11th. We haven't seen those tattoos yet, but if there are more pictures out there, I'd be very interested to see if they are there as well. But it is good to know that the details we had coming into us yesterday are coming together to paint the accurate picture of the man that we are learning more about today through the sources that NBC News has in the Justice Department that are presumably feeding this information to Pete Williams and then passing it on to us. Vince and Susan?
All right, Steve Shammers live for us there in Oak Creek. Steve, thanks very much. 13 minutes before 9 o'clock. And again, the picture that Steve was referencing actually comes to us from this group that we believe Wade Page was a part of. The End Apathy group has a MySpace page, and this is where we're getting this photograph then, possibly our first look here at the suspected shooter in this case.
And affiliated, Steve was mentioning, and NBC News mentioning that he's affiliated with this organization called the Southern Poverty Law Center. We are continuing to gather information about that organization, calling itself a civil rights organization headquartered in Montgomery, Alabama. We continue to monitor this as we bring together all these different pieces to try to get a picture of Wade Michael Page, a 40-year-old who police say went into the Sikh Temple of Wisconsin yesterday morning at about 10:30 and gunned down 6 people.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more local coverage right now.